Hi everyone, it's Emily from Life So Savory, and today we're going to be making this cute hooded blanket. It's great for cold winter nights when you just need an extra cozy cuddle. The oversized hood is also a perfect addition. To begin, you're going to measure yourself or your child from wrist to wrist, and then also over from back to back waist. This will give you the size that you're going to cut your blanket. The free printable pattern is available in both kids and adult sizes. It's just a few pages and you can go ahead and trim the border and then tape those pages together. It's quite simple to get started sewing on this project. Once you have the pages taped together, you're going to go ahead and cut the hood out of fleece. Because the fleece is nice and thick, we're only going to make a single layer hood and not a fully lined hood. Remember, this pattern fits most sizes as it's a one size fits all, but you may need to adjust for extra tiny children. Cut the 2 layers of fleece with a scissors or a rotary cutter, and from there we are going to pin them right sides together. Now most fleece doesn't have a right or a wrong side, so this should be pretty easy to make sure that you have the right sides together. Go ahead and pin or clip around that outer curved edge of the hood, and this is where we're going to sew together. I use my serger to create a nice finished hood seam, and if you're sewing a lined hood, then you're also going to repeat this with the lining and the outer fabric before sewing them together. But for this unlined version, we are simply sewing the 2 pieces of the hood together at the back center seam. This is going to be very easy to then attach to our blanket. To cut the hole for the neck, you're going to divide the opening you want, 22 inches, by 6.28, and from there I get a radius of 3.5. I'm creating a square with my fleece, making sure that the width across is at least that arm-to-arm measurement that I had before. You may need to adjust your fabric so that it's not too big. Create a double fold with your fleece fabric, and at that top double fold corner, that is where we're going to cut that 3.5-inch radius that we got by doing our little math equation. And once we have that marked on the fabric, you're going to use your scissors then to cut out that neck or that overhead opening that we will use to attach the hood to as well. So cut it out. It's 4 pieces of fleece. It's a little bit thick, but you can make it across, and we're going to sew this entire opening as we put the hood on, so it's fine to just sort of cut through it roughly. Once we have that, then we're going to go ahead and finish the flat front edge of the hood. I folded over about a 1/2 inch, and I'm just using my sewing machine and a zigzag stitch to finish that fold back, a little hem on the front of the hood to fully finish it. Fleece doesn't fray, so we don't have to fully finish all the seams. I'm marking the shoulder seams here, and I'm also going to find the back center of that neck opening, and I'm going to use that to match up the back center of the hood. With right sides together, match the hood to the blanket and pin or clip all the way around the hood until you get to the front of our blanket. You're going to overlap those front angled pieces when you are finishing the hood. This will completely finish the neckline of the hood and create a cozy fold over on the front. Just make sure when you are sewing the hood to the blanket that at that front where you have those 3 layers of fleece, that they're all lined up and that you're catching all those 3 layers in the neckline, and this will help to create a nice cozy fold over in the front and fully finish the neck of the hood as well as the neck of this blanket. Now we are going to add the little cuffs, which will help keep the blanket in place while you're wearing it. Match up the bottom of this blanket and then find the shoulder. Cut some cuffs, make sure the stretch is from side to side. The measurements for these are in the written tutorial, and you're going to pin the cuffs on that top shoulder side of the blanket. Sew the cuffs to the blanket. All 3 of those raw edges are going to be sewed together along that top folded edge of the blanket. Then you're going to fold the cuff right sides together and sew those 4 raw edges together. Make sure you don't catch the blanket in the seam. We're just catching the cuff. That's all we want sewn together. Because we have these loose serger tails, we need to finish those before we finish the project. So grab a darning needle and pull those serger tails back through the seam to finish both the wrist edge as well as the arm edge of the cuff. And now you have a cute wearable blanket that fits and is cozy.